Good evening, it's Pastor Allen. I talked to you before about the prophecy of pending judgment upon Jerusalem in Ezekiel chapter 7. I reiterated by the second vision that was given to Ezekiel in chapter 8. And now I'm going to return to chapter 9, where God is pronouncing Jerusalem's judgment. In verse 1, he cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, Cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the God of Israel was gone up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. Now God is standing in the doorway about to direct them. And he called to the man clothed with the linen, which had a writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the heads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. Now see, God is deciding before he destroys or before he sets his punishment on Jerusalem for the man with the inkhorn to set a mark on the men who cry for the abominations that be done. He's talking about the pastors who fail to fall by the wayside and fail to fall for man's devices and preach the gospel as it's written in the word. Those pastors will be marked because God is going to put them aside when he destroys. And the Bible says it's going to start first in the church when he comes down and sets things straight. He's going to start in the church. Verse 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near my men, upon whom is the mark, and begin at the sanctuary. He's told them right there. I just finished telling you, God is going to start his destruction and his straightening up of the evil in this generation. And he's going to start with false preachers, false teachers, false prophets. Then they began at the Ancient of Men, which were before the house. And he said unto them, Defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried, and said, Ah, Lord God, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Ezekiel asking the question, asking God, is he going to destroy all the residue of Israel? Now God is replying, Then said he unto me, The iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, The Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord seeth not. See, people come up with all these evil, perverse devices because they think God is not paying attention. And just because God didn't bust you down just as soon as you did it, does not mean, and just because God has been long-suffering, that does not mean he playing with your foolishness. He's still going to deal with you. He said it again to Ezekiel, Then said he unto me, The iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, The Lord hath forsaken the earth, and the Lord seeth not. And as for me also, mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. God's going to bring the same evil that you pulled on this earth back upon on top of your head and your family. He's going to deal with you for the iniquity that you did for his people for years and years. You thought you were getting away, but you have not gotten away just because you was getting by. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me. The man who was writing what was going on, and he was putting a mark on the people's head who were righteous, he came back to God and let God know, I have finished and I have accomplished the mission that you sent me to do. And at the same time, while he was reporting back, the men with weapons of death were destroying the men who practice iniquity. I'll continue this teaching at a later date. May God bless you.